don't be hard on yourself. You're always your own worst enemy. Do you see that? Do you see people?
Absolutely. We go over that in our instructor course, too. We teach our instructors to make sure that people are comparing themselves to themselves, not to other people. If I have somebody that comes in that can only do 3 push-ups, that's great, because I know I can make that person go from 3 push-ups to maybe 40. A person that comes in that can do 100 push-ups, I probably can't get them much more than that.
Right.
You know, so there's so much more improvement that we can have with that type of a person. So never ever compare yourself with someone else. It's about your own improvements. So it's something we really stress in all of our classes.
That's very good. Did you have?
Oh, I agree with that. Totally agree. Mm-hmm.
So compare yourself to yourself.
Yes.
And another thing,
try not to watch other people and imitate what they're doing. You know, because it's not always. Right, it's not always correct.
And if one person can lift their knees really high or something, and you can't, so what?
Right.
It doesn't matter, does it? No. What matters is that you're doing it.
Absolutely. I mean, it depends on your goals, too. I mean, most people are doing it for weight loss. Doesn't matter if you can lift your knees all the way up or not. You're going to burn the same amount of calories if you're trying your best, you know. So we have people of all different ages, all different walks of life, all different fitness levels. So like she said, everyone starts somewhere, and you cannot critique yourself too much and be too hard on yourself. But I do think you need to hold yourself accountable. I think there's a lot of people in our society today that are honestly too easy on themselves. Mm-hmm. So you got to stick with it, and there's a little bit of mental toughness that goes along with it as well. So
right,
and that's also where having a partner helps, because you can hold each other accountable.
A little bit of motivation.
Yes.
A little bit of motivation.
Yeah, like Tammy kicked my butt for falling asleep Saturday.
I did.
Literally, she did.
I kicked her butt.
Just tell me next time. We'll go over to her house. We'll pull her out.
Amy, want to join us?
There you go.
Drive by.
God, they're ganging up on us.
Sounds like a good time.
Wow. Oh, but I want you to know I did punish myself.
Oh, how was that?
It snowed, and I walked in the snow all the way down to the end of the beach.
Sure. Very good workout.
Twice on Saturday and 3 times on Sunday.
Yeah, very good. Very good. You kept yourself moving.
And my hamstrings hurt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, heavy boots and...
next time it'd probably just be easier to go to class.
It would be, I think.
Yeah,
but it was fun. And, that's one of the reasons why I got a dog, is I found myself sitting around too much.
Sure. Gives you an excuse.
And I have to get out.
Yeah.
And, the winter before that, when my back was hurt, I never went outside and looked at the changes in the water being freezing. And I never saw that. And this year, every day I've been out there, and I've heard it freezing and defrosting, and it's really fun. I really like it.
That's awesome.
Crack, honey.
I did. I heard crack.
Not many people are aware that ice cracks like that.
Oh, it's
now
freaky.
You know.
And my husband said, you don't want to be out on the ice fishing and hear that crap.
Right.
I live right down the beach from you, so I do a lot of ice fishing. So I like seeing it freeze, but not unthaw though.
No,
I like that.
And we had a freeze and a thaw already this year.
We did, and hopefully we don't see another
weird.
thaw till June. But
remember last year?
June?
No,
Early June. Yeah.
May.
Ouch.
But last year at this time there were trucks parked on.
Oh, it was great. It was a winter wonderland.
Yes, it was very
phenomenal.
frozen. But we digress. And you know what you have to, that's, I'm glad that we brought that up, because you really like ice fishing.
I do. I like outdoor activities. I do as much as I can.
And being physically fit, doing Zumba, doing martial arts, doing whatever, helps you enjoy those kind of things longer. So it's not only to burn calories.
Yep.
It's
to better your life. So many people
right.
have all these hobbies they like to do, and they work their life away to try to get to be able to fish every day or to do what they like to do. And then they get there and they can't. Their body doesn't let them. So if you want to do these fun things that you like doing now, when you get older and you go into your golden years and you retire, then you have to take care of number one, you know. So it's very, very important.
And that's what you said, Amy, was one of the reasons why you like teaching Zumba. It's quality of life as you get older.
It's a whole life change. Life change. Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's to burn calories and to keep your muscles nice and strong. And what would you like to say, Julian?
I just like to say, what kind of stretches do you have to do to pull those fishes out of the hole? I mean, you have to be very careful.
Yeah.
You have to bend your knees.
But make sure that you pull that fish out by the gills.
Sure,
and make
sure.
sure that you're not going to, lose him.
Well, you got to get out there. You got to endure a long, cold walk or a long, cold ride, and that's where being physically fit comes in. Once you get there, it's no problem,
And, drinking that beer, that requires a lot of
curls.
Yeah.
That's why we work out,
bicep.
so we can. We burn that calories ahead of time.
I shouldn't talk. My wine also requires
You know what they
that.
need to come up with is a beer koozie that has weight to it, so you are getting your curls.
There you go.
Yeah.
Might be $1 million
Write that
idea.
down,
You can have
Misty.
that.
We could do it with wine, too. You know how we had those Christmas wine markers, our glass markers?
Yeah.
We could put little fish weights on them.
Oh.
Lead sinkers.
Sinkers.
Make our own little.
Diva ideas.
Yeah.
Right here.
Diva Diaz.
Oh,
Diva
we're
Divas.
full of ideas. How many are actually good? I don't know.
And it's really funny because as we drink wine, the ideas get bigger.
I'm
and
sure they
slow.
do.
Even better.
Yeah, I can tell.
Imagine that.
So, I have some friends that have exercised all their lives. And I have some friends that are the same age or even younger that have never exercised. And holy moly, what a difference.
Yeah.
Appearance-wise, too.
Yes.
You notice the difference. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So let's talk about somebody that has never exercised that's in their 30s and somebody that has never exercised and in their 50s. What would be the difference in them starting to do something?
Well, I definitely think that, listening to your bodies, again, when you first start, you have to make sure that you're not going too hard and not going to the point where you're going to injure yourself. But I think a lot of the rules still apply regardless of your age. You still have to find something that you love to do, and it is your job to do that. You can't just start with one thing and say, oh, I didn't like that class, and then just completely give up. You got to keep trying and find something. So regardless of your age, you got to search for that something, and it falls back onto mental toughness and not giving up on yourself. No matter what, you got to go get it. And at the end of the day, it's just you to answer to yourself, and that's about it. So
with your pace too, I think. As you get older, you're not your spring chicken anymore, so you're not as quick, you're not as fast.
And you usually have
your pace, so you have to kind of slow it down just a little bit at first. Maybe eventually your endurance will get up there, but start out slow.
Right, and towards 50, you have more body areas that have suffered injuries, so you're less agile.
Sure. I mean, we always
Things move around a little bit more. Yeah.
We always talk about age, and so many people say age is just a number, and it is. It really is. I mean, you can be in such phenomenal shape, 60, 70. My grandfather's 91 years old.
And your dad, too.
Yeah, my dad's in Thailand training Muay Thai right now, and he's 61. My grandfather's 91. He still walks and rides his bike 3 miles a day, lives by himself.
That's
So
awesome.
Guy.
it is a mental state.
I would like to have all three of you on the show one
And I
night.
think when you
Wouldn't
get
that
older,
be fun?
When you get older, too, I think it's a lot. It's mental, it's physical. It's like, when you see some of these people that are older and they're exercising and they're with their group, it's socializing, too. It helps them in all different areas. So it's not just, it's their mind, their body, it's everything.
Right.
Absolutely.
And it has been proven that the more physically active you are, the more mentally alive
acute.
you will.
Yes.
That's the word, acute. You're so cute.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So it's so many things, staying physically fit. And it's what's physically fit for you. Sure. If you're and that's the thing that young girls need to understand too. I was involved in I kind of still am, I guess, in Girls on the Run. And it's body image. You don't have to be stick skinny to be physically fit. In fact, aren't physically fit. That's
healthy.
right.
It's not
That's
healthy.
right. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about weight for a little while. What, Charlie?
Well, I think.
Remember, you're with a bunch of women here.
Yeah. I have to be really
Tread
careful
lightly.
here, and I could throw out a lot of statistics, but I'm not going to. I think going off of what you said, making sure that listening to how you feel, your diet is such a huge part of this. Regardless of what you look, it depends how you feel. You don't have to look at yourself in the mirror necessarily, but if you're controlling your diet and you feel good, if you feel good long enough, eventually your body's going to catch up. But I mean, for me, after I was about 24, 25, I could tell if I'm eating horribly, if I'm not sleeping right, if I'm not getting the right amount of rest. I can tell. It's no secret. So you have to make sure that you're listening to yourself, and if you feel good, your body will catch up. But it's not all about what you look like in the mirror all the time. So we all have different. We were all given different bodies, so we're not all Greek gods by any means. So we have to be careful to keep our mind straight at the the same time.
Some of us are Roman goddesses.
That is true. Like all the ladies I'm with tonight.
Yes.
Good boy.
Greek, Roman. And do you see? Are most of your classes female?
They are. I'm getting a little bit more men in there, but yeah, most of them right now are basically female.
And do you see them struggling with their body image?
I don't think so much. I think when you're in a class like that, in a Zumba class especially, size doesn't matter. There's so many variety of people in there, and it's no two people are the same.
Right.
There's always going to be someone that looks better or nicer than you or better than you. You can't go on that.
Right.
But there's so many different bodies.
But so many people do.
Yeah, there's so many different body styles that are in class that as long as they're doing what they enjoy and what they love, then kudos to them for being out there.
When I started Amy's Zumba class at the beginning, that was before I lost it in my leg. And I was in the back, and I couldn't see her, and I'm thinking, what am I doing? I'm back here
Finally,
hiding.
she came up front.
I came to the front so I could see her.
Yeah.
And I've been there ever since.
And even with that, just exercising and dieting and watching what you eat, then, you made a total change.
Yes.
You are a completely different person, much less of you than when I first met you.
Thank goodness.
Well, I liked you before, but I like you better now.
I do too.
So if you have never been overweight before and you find yourself overweight, it's really depressing. I know you've probably never been there.
I have been there.
Have you?
I've had 2 children, and right after the kids came, it was it's not that easy. Just to lose that weight.
It's like such a shock.
Yeah.
What happened to that person?
Exactly.
You wonder.
You look in the mirror, it's like, where's my body?
Uh-huh.
What happened to it?
It's in there somewhere, but boy, is it under a lot of shit.
And after kids, it's never the same,
never the
no
same.
matter what.
No.
Mine was.
Oh, jeez.
I have to say,
Mine
and I
was
was
not.
older, but I was working out 5, 6, 7 days a week.
Well, then there you have it.
But
I was not.
but when
I was,
did
but
get
still.
out of shape, oh my God, it was like I was really depressed.
Yeah. You either got to switch it up, you have to learn, something else that you enjoy, give your body a little bit of a shock and get back on the road again.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter how long it takes you.
No.
I think the main thing that we're trying to say is don't be your own worst enemy and give up before you even...
And that's so true, and many of us are. I mean, that's what we're...
Because it's so easy to say, I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy to exercise and go home and eat a box of donuts. I mean, I don't eat stuff like that, but, I can see somebody doing that thinking this is hopeless. I'm 100 pounds overweight.
Sure. Something I always talk about in all my classes with all my students and all my instructors is if you feel depressed, it's because you don't have enough progression in your life. It doesn't matter if you're talking about progression in relationships, progression in your body, progression in your business, whatever it may be. That 99% of the time is what the problem is. So today we're talking about fitness in your body. So you need to document these things. Did you lose a pound last week? Did you take an inch off? What is it that you're progressing? Because if you don't chart it, you'll never feel that progression because you don't know where you are. So it's very important to keep track of where you are so you can see that progression going to make you feel good about yourself, and it's going to make you stick at it.
Mm-hmm.
Without it, you're not going to stick with it.
I'm doing this 90-day challenge with Lanny Morton. I should tell him I advertised for him. And one of the things he says is whatever can be measured should be measured. Whether it be your weight, the amount of money that you're earning.
Absolutely.
All those things. So that's exactly what you just said. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we are having a really good discussion about New Year's resolutions, basically, of getting fit. And I think really most people make that New Year's resolution year after year after year. We want you to stick to it and stick to us. We're going to come back in just a little while and continue the conversation. And maybe Juliana will chime in and tell us how massage will help us, too. See you in a little bit.
I'm planning on it.
The Divas are going to refill their wine glasses. The Divalution show will be right back.
Standby Appliance, located at 408 Columbus Avenue. They carry most major brands, install and service all of their sales. They're hometown owned and operated and have been in business for over 65 years. 989-893-4676 or visit them at standbyappliance.com.